Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the ONMOBILE Q3 FY21 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Diwakar Pingle of Christensen IR. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rayo. Good evening, good morning to all participants in the call, depending on the geography you're in. Welcome to the Q3 FY21 earnings call of ONMOBILE Global Limited. Representing the management today, we have FC, the Executive Chairman, Krish Sheshadri, the CEO, Sanjay Vambhre, Chief Operating Officer, and Sanjay Baveja, Chief Financial Officer. The call will start with a brief update about the quarter. This update by FC and Krish, which will follow the financial performance review by Sanjay Baveja. Post this, we'll have a short product update presentation by Krish on Zoom video conferencing. The link to Zoom was circulated in the call invite mail sent to you along with the financials and earnings presentation. I would request all participants to please log on to the Zoom link to view the presentation while the audio conference call is in progress. Kindly do not disconnect the audio call while logging on to Zoom. We will then open the floor for Q&A session. I'd like to mention that some of the statements made in today's call may be forward-looking in nature and may involve risks and uncertainties. For a list of such considerations, please refer to the earnings presentation. ONMOBILE Global undertakes no obligation to publicly revise any forward-looking statement to reflect future. Having said that, I now hand over the floor to FC. FC?
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Big quarter in terms of work. As you can see, the results, financial results are quite good on the cost management and profitability. Quite happy with the team on that side. I want to highlight, since we spoke last quarter, we wanted to show the new gaming platform. I'm quite happy today that we'll spend a bit more time, and hopefully everybody will be able to connect on Zoom to see the presentation we made for you, just to explain at least to you what we're building on. And I want to clarify from last quarter also, I saw a bit of confusion between our product lines. So I just want to be clear that in the coming quarter, we have actually 3 products line being pushed by the time we speak next. So the first one actually is Challenge Arena. Challenge Arena is a quiz game app. It's an app that works for every operator. We're selling it as a B2B OTT OEM, and that product is ready. We've sold it to one operator. It's going to go live in this month in India with one operator. So that product is ready to go, and that's the product that we're pushing worldwide right now to many operators so that we can capture some sales in the coming quarters. The second product, which I'm not sure we talked about or not mentioned, is the ad RBT products, mainly in India. To really cover the declining tones market, we're really pushing now with ad RBT. It's a product we've been working on many years now, and finally it's ready to go. So now we should see some revenues coming in this coming quarter. And finally, the product that we're all waiting for, the ONMO gaming, cloud gaming platform, which Krish will do the demo. I must apologize. We had planned to do the demo in December or January. Now we decided for many reasons to wait for this call. We're all very interested to launch the product. Now keep in mind that what we're doing has never been done. So it's really cutting edge. And when I say cutting edge, it's not cutting edge just for us. It's cutting edge globally. It's something that even the big players have not done and really mastered. We did file the patent as we mentioned last time, so the patent is done. That's why now we'll be able to share with you. The service is really a service for 4G, strong 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi, which will launch direct-to-consumer and B2B for 5G operators. So different than the Challenge Arena product. So I just want to highlight the difference so that we don't get confused when we talk about Challenge Arena or ONMO, the gaming solution. They're 2 different products. And really, when we say cutting edge, sometimes we talk about bleeding edge. If you don't bleed a bit, because you're not cutting edge. So it's a bit normal that we're having a bit of delays. When we integrated the Atlan Cloud Gaming solution that we have with the Rub0 AI and all the battles that are done by ONMOBILE, actually leveraging the challenge arena that we've been doing, obviously we'll have some integration issues. When I say small issues, they're normal issues. You'll see everything that you'll see today that Chris will present is working today. I play an hour a day, looking at the games across. So it does work. We just need a bit of adjustments before we do our official beta. So I just want to clarify on these fronts. So the revenue growth is coming from 3 products in the next quarters, and we're going to be pushing. And I wanted to clarify Challenge Arena versus the Unmo. Clearly, there are 2 different products. One really cutting edge. We're going to be shooting out to 5G operators. The other one is addressed to all the operators, OTTs, OEM devices. So that's the situation. Quite happy. It's a big call today, and we'll have a Q&A session after we've seen the demo. But at least now we can talk about what we're doing, and we can have a real Q&A session. So over to you, Krish, please.
Great. Thank you, FC. Good afternoon, everyone. Warm welcome to you all. Thanks for making time to be on the call. We are really delighted to share progress in Q3 21. I'll start by touching upon the business highlights, high-level performance of key businesses, and the key priorities going forward, followed by a short presentation on both the gaming products FC mentioned. So Q3 was a good quarter for us on multiple fronts. Revenue was stable Q on Q, but if you notice, we registered very healthy margins, both Q on Q and year on year. So operationally, very, very efficient and good quarter for us. It was also a quarter where there was, further digitization of our core B2B and B2C products. So as I mentioned, last quarter, we are digitally transforming the company across, several key priorities and products. So let me get into, those products right away. So the tones business, as you saw, the overall revenue grew about, 3.2% year to date, and that's roughly 2% quarter-on-quarter growth. If you notice, digital revenue actually grew twice as fast as our non-digital revenue, and that was due to growth in digital install base from 16.3 million to 18 million. That's roughly a 10% increase in the digital tones install base. Not only that, but the song set per user also increased. It was roughly around 73% now versus 25% for overall, which includes non-digital. So the digital efforts really are having some effect over here. On the ad RBT product, which FC mentioned, last quarter we said that we were technically ready to start serving ads, and right now, it's ready. The product is about targeting mobile consumer with voice ads. We are going through UAT with a few telcos, and revenues will definitely start kicking in the quarters to come. The second product, which FC mentioned, which is also in the gaming space, but it's Challenges Arena, which is our digital contest quiz product. Our goal has been to focus on this because this is a very exciting segment of the gaming space, and we continue digitizing the products within this space. The Q-on-Q basis, our overall contest revenue declined, but on a year-to-date basis, it kind of grew to 3.2%. So Q3 was for us, within the contest space, to consolidate on digital. The digital contest revenue actually grew Q-on-Q, and that's because our digital active base itself grew from roughly 246K to about 256K on our contest products. And the monthly active users grew by a very good 28%. Engagement rates, very, very healthy at about 86% average for the quarter. So that's actually a phenomenal engagement rate to have on our digital products. Challenges Arena in particular, I'll get into the details in the presentation, but very quickly, we completed the play test and the A/B testing over the last 3 months. We've signed one contract with the telco, and we'll also be taking this internationally. So we are very excited about, the contest space within the casual game genre space. The third one is video and editorial. Revenue was relatively stable Q-on-Q and year-on-year basis. And year-to-date basis also we grew about 6%. Coming to the third product, which is the B2C cloud gaming product, ONMO. As FC mentioned, yes, we were supposed to show an MVP beta version in December, Jan, but there was a slight delay. It's a complex piece of technology. The thing is, we tested the platform in December through an internal play test for streaming and concurrency, and it did really well. We are actually playing games on that platform as we speak. It's just that some of the shorter game moments had a few bugs which we are fixing. So we'll definitely release the beta in April of this year. And that said, on that product, there's huge progress on multiple fronts since we last spoke. We signed agreements with over 70 plus games on that platform. Actually, we signed agreements with game companies which cumulatively have over 100 games. But, for technical compatibility, about 70 of them would probably be on our platform. And right now we've integrated about 20, 25 and testing it, and it's working brilliantly. So hopefully by beta, we should have signed close to 100 games. The innovation in our game content, which is moment creation, we created about 600 moment challenges on the platform. And by beta, we hope to have thousands of moments and challenges. So you're going to see lots of interesting moments, which are short clips of the games. And we've been playing them every day and having a lot of fun internally. We've added a lot of features on that, which again, I'll, be very happy to show in the product presentation. Some of the features are on the social side. We've added some battles, voice chat. We completely redesigned the homepage, and you'll see that it's looking pretty much like a fully fleshed out product. The one thing I needed to add was, this is a confluence of technologies between our Appland team in Sweden, the Rob0 team in Canada, and the Bangalore product and technology teams, and all these teams have come together to build this product. And we continue, investing in these teams and hiring people in all three geographies. Quick update on the Q3 financial performance. As I said, it was a good quarter. Revenue was stable at about 146 million, but we registered very, very healthy margins. EBITDA, operating profit, and PAT grew by 15%, 19%, and 49%, respectively. And also, cash profit grew by 7 million. So besides, we continue to emphasize on employee safety, as most of our employees continue to work from home globally. And we also, employees participated in an employee survey in December, and I'm thrilled to say that they affirm that we are a preferred place to work. And this is a testament to our, purpose-led culture. I'm really quite excited about the opportunities in both ONMO gaming and the contest gaming product that lie ahead for us. And I think we are on the very last leg, as FC said, and we are keeping an eye out on executing to the fullest over the next few months. So with that, I hand it over to Sanjay Paveja, our CFO, for his comments on the financial performance for the quarter. Sanjay, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Krish. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to all of you on the call. I would like to wish all of you and your families a very happy, safe, and healthy New Year. Let me quickly elaborate a little more on the financials. Most of you have already seen the investor deck that has been mailed to you, as well as hosted on our website and the exchanges. If you is not on our mailing list, please feel free to mail to us or connect our investor relations teams, and we will add you to the distribution list. Quarter 3, financial year 21, was another stable quarter for us. Chris has talked about it. The gross revenue was at 146 crores, flat quarter on quarter. As per our stated strategy to shut down any business that does not measure up to our stated goals of revenue and profitability, we are continuing to focus on the unprofitable Latin America businesses and are in the process of exiting from countries where we do not have the right pricing power. This effort will be one of the big tailwinds in ensuring our emergence towards the end of this fiscal. As mentioned in my earlier call, I'm reiterating that the same that we are expecting to complete this process substantially this financial as far as the operations are concerned, but closure of the entities may slip into the next fiscal. From a product perspective, on quarter-on-quarter basis, tones grew by 1.7%. Contests saw a reduction of about 5.8%. Videos were flat, and games, which is still in its infancy and not in the form that we are about to launch, which Krish is going to talk and demonstrate to you, dropped marginally. On the cost front, our manpower cost declined by 4.9% quarter-on-quarter and 11% year-on-year. Our marketing costs declined by 16% quarter-on-quarter and 10.9% year-on-year. The decline is mainly coming from the Europe region. Our continuous cost optimization effort led to a cost saving of 1.5 crore in this quarter. During the quarter, EBITDA witnessed growth of 15.2% quarter-on-quarter and 60% year-on-year to INR 17.7 crores and the double-digit margin of 12.7, up from last time, supported by above-mentioned parameters. Our operating profits also grew by 19.4% quarter-on-quarter and 91.8% on year-on-year basis to 14.4 crores for the quarter. The major factor driving profitability growth is our cost optimization efforts and lower spend. Our profits after tax was 12 crores, a growth of 54% quarter-on-quarter and almost 2x as compared to the last year on a year-to-year basis. For the 9 months for FY21, our revenue remained stable, EBITDA has more than doubled, and operating profit grew by 209%, and PAT grew by 228% over last year. This demonstrates considerable improvement in profitability, which we are targeting to maintain going forward. During the quarter, our cash balances in the book stood at 274 crores, an increase of INR 41 crores as compared to INR 232 crores at the end of Q2 FY21. The rise is primarily due to good collection efficiency. As mentioned by FC, we will continue to invest in our gaming projects and also by Krish that in the US, which is expected to be launched in the coming quarters. A lot of operating metrics are and data has been shared in the presentation deck, and I'm sure all of you would have had access to the same. With this, I now will hand over the call back to Krish for the product presentation, post which we will be able to move to the Q&A part. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Sanjay. Just to correct myself, revenue was at 146 crores. But anyway, I'll just jump straight into our product presentation. It's on the Zoom link, so feel free to log in. So we've got, the presentation is on two different products. The first is our cloud gaming B2C product, and the second one is our quiz contest app product, which is more taken to, B2B companies, telcos, enterprises, OTT, OEMs. A lot of progress since the last time we met, and we tested streaming, as I said, in our alpha test across several countries and cities, and we also tested concurrency. What you see on the right-hand side is actually our newly designed homepage with a lot of features that we've added, which is sharing controls, social features. We've added a lot of battles and challenges and moments. Different formats will be coming soon. As I said, we've signed about game agreements that can have about 75 games on the platform so far. Our goal is to get about 100 by the time we get into beta. We've also built a moments creation team that can build very unique, curated moments or challenges. Right now we've got about 600, but that will scale to several thousand by the time we get into beta. So there's going to be a lot of fun games and moments that consumers will be able to play. And we've also been adding employees across the 3 regions. Moving on to the next slide. This is to give you just a glimpse of the last 3 months. As you can see, the very first visual on the left-hand side is about live play. So right now we can actually watch someone else playing live, and we can play live with that person. This is completely cloud streamed. Again, in October, November, we started working on some of those social features. Not all of them are completely built out, but what you see there actually works. You can share controls. You can go incognito. You'll have a list of watchers who are watching your game. There's voice chat right at the bottom. In December, Jan, I said we've integrated games. So those are all the game challenges that you can play. Each game moment is probably a few minutes, maybe two to 3 minutes. These are not full-length games. Bite-sized content, which is where the market is going, and there is an audience for consuming small snippets of games on the go. I'll elaborate more on this. So that's what we integrated in December, Jan, and there are a few bugs over there which we are solving right now. And in January, we've also added battles and leaderboards, which make it fun and interesting for you to play battles with friends. And these friends can be added onto your platform either through a Facebook Connect or a Gmail ID. The next slide is basically on key gaming trends that are evolving rapidly and leading to a huge opportunity globally. And to a large extent, our product is built on this thesis. So, mobile is fueling the growth of the gaming industry, and it's over $100 billion today. It's probably the fastest, growing segment within the gaming industry, much larger than, PC and console games. Cloud gaming, it's a relatively young market right now, but, we are at that cusp, at that cutting edge. As FC mentioned, there are very few cloud gaming platforms and companies at scale today, so we are kind of going to ride along that trend. But our feeling is it will eventually disrupt the games business, just like mobile gaming disrupted. On the social gaming side, gamers are likely to stay in game or even longer when there's a sense of community, social connections, and the ability to play with friends. And whenever engagement is very high, it's usually because you've got friends on that platform. So gamers are 2x more likely to actually stay in games if they see some of these connections. And on the esports side, that's the new monetization model. Gamers are more likely to pay so that you can beat your friends, challenge your friends, and over 40% of esports audience actually don't necessarily play the games, but they may follow, they may watch, they may spectate, and they participate in that process. So these are the key disruptive trends on which we are kind of building our platform. And the cloud gaming tech is completely built by Appland in Sweden, which we acquired, and we've integrated it. We've been testing and optimizing it. Game moments is where there's been a lot of innovation. It's a different way of playing games. The platform will host these short little curated games, and once again, the core technology from the Montreal team, Rob Zero's team, the core capability of that technology and the content management tool that they've built is what we are leveraging and integrating into into this platform. So as you can see, 1 and 2 are two very, very cutting edge technologies that are actually coming together. And that's fundamentally what we are right now working on to make it even more seamless. On the sharing moments, I've already touched a little bit about it. I'll show you some of the screens out there. And same thing on the esports side. So all these screenshots that you're seeing are fundamentally what we play every day. So these are the games that are live, and those are people playing games within the company. So the number one feature is you play instantly. There are no downloads, and games can be instantly streamed into your mobile phone without any need for downloading from the Play Store or downloading any APK. This is working as of now, and this is a core piece of our technology. There's no frustrating installation process, no device dependency. You can use Android, you can use iOS, and I'm really, really excited to say that we are probably one of the first truly mobile gaming solutions. When I say mobile cloud gaming solutions, there are other cloud gaming solutions that stream large screen games to mobile phones, but very few of them stream it directly onto your mobile phone. And our product is built for truly mobile. So games are designed to be played on mobile, not on consoles with controllers, etc. So no extra devices like controllers are needed to play on ONMO, and that's the case to use any other cloud gaming solution on mobile. Today you might need to use controllers. I think just getting onto some of the other features on the platform, which is Discover. It's a very personalized experience. You can watch friends play live. You can discover games and other popular moments and battles. You can track your friends who are playing these games and all their activities, so that you can then do a challenge or a battle with them. So all those things are integrated across what you see on the bottom navigation bar. So as I said, we're developing thousands of these short curated game moments. It's an innovation in curated game moment development, and we've in the process of filing a patent in that area. And ONMO curates these in a very, very different snackable format. It's a very controlled environment where play is there for more heightened gamer interest and engagement. And some of these ONMO generated challenges within the moments are there to ensure that there's replay value for gamers. And especially gamers like going back and playing the same level, the same moment. There are always some cool parts of a game that you actually want to go back and play. And in most cases you can't, because you'll have to go back to the beginning and do that, or you'll have to go back to a certain level and progress through a level and then go to a certain part. So we avoid that for people, because we kind of curate the best moments of a game, the coolest moments of a game. And what are some of those? The back-end technology of this has an algorithm which will look at various areas and parameters along which we will curate a game or define a moment. It could be, based on a specific game level, which is the most common one, but you'll see that pretty much on most platforms. But in our case, you'll be able to play games, based on a certain number of moves or number of coins to collect or time-based trials, etc. So that's why we have this ability to build thousands as opposed to, just 5 or 6 unique challenges per game. I think I touched on this already on the game moments, and as I said, we'll have thousands. Right now, we have the ability to create about 1,000 moments a month. So hopefully by our beta, we should easily cross over 1,000 moments and 100 games. On the social and co-play side, again, some very, very cool features out here that you can see. These are 2 screens of a player and a watcher. So this is where our cloud streaming technology comes into the picture. You can actually see and share controls with another player. You're not, this is not available or possible in all other competing platforms that you see. So playing games together online is what current millennials love, and key innovations that enable players to play with each other, watch others play. I think share your screen, the entire communication suite. All these things are there, but it's not there in one place. It's disaggregated across several different players out in the market. So this is something we are able to do because of our core streaming technology. And in a way, when I use the word seamless, it's a key word for screen sharing and communication, because all this is without needing multiple applications. Right? You don't need a game. You don't need something else for spectating. Go to Discord, go to Twitch, and then go to a communication suite. We are trying to build all this together in one place. Battle and compete, once again, we just built our virtual currency battles, which will allow you to, pick a moment, challenge a friend, and, you'll be able to play your session and post it. You'll appear on the leaderboard, etc. So as we go, through the next few months, we'll start building different types of battles, one-on-one battles, multi-user battles. There might be battles which are time-bound challenges, with cash, without cash, etc. You might be playing battles which are, synchronous, real-time. Some of them may be asynchronous. There's a lot of innovation and product rollouts that will happen in that space. But as of now, we've got one battle format out there, and by when we launch, we'll definitely have 2 or 3 battle formats. I think there were some questions on competitors. I think I mentioned before, there are people in that competitive landscape, and everyone does a little bit of what the others do. I don't have too much time to get into the details, but broadly speaking, we selected a bunch of different players out in the market just to give you a feel for where we are different. That doesn't mean these are not good products. I think everyone has a place in the market, but they are also very different from what some of these companies do. For example, you've got Google Stadia, Blacknut, xCloud. Their streaming technology is that's where our similarity starts and ends. But it's more focused on delivering PC console games. For example, Xbox One, you can kind of boot that up on your mobile, and it will take some time to boot up on your mobile. But in our case, we are directly streamed on mobile. So there's no console, there is no controllers, etc. Facebook, for those who've been following, also have launched Facebook Gaming. It's a very compelling product. It's very good. But once again, we are very different. They're monetizing from ads, which is what Facebook does. They're not into battles and challenges and having those interesting curated game moments. Twitch, many of you might have been on Twitch. It's one-to-many spectating. It works really well for that consumer experience, but our consumer experience is completely different. It's more about seamless multi-party co-play, voice chat, battles, and not necessarily just 1 to kind of 1,000 spectating kind of an experience. Skills, NPL, Paytm, First Games, Winzo, these are all more or less apps in the same space, except for Skills, which it's not Indian, but the others, as you know, and have been following are. You need to download these games, at least their APKs. Not necessarily the kind of co-play and sharing that we have. Ours is completely stream-based. There's no download. There are a limited number of challenges out there per game. If you go to some of their games, there might be 10 or 15 challenges. But as I said, in our games, we are chopping everything down to bite-sized curated moments. So we'll end up having thousands of game moment challenges on our platform. Bunch is a very interesting app, but once again, for a very different use case from what we are building. It's a place where you can go and literally take a small bunch of friends and play games. Most of the games are actually integrated onto that platform, so it's a little limited in the catalog. And in our case, our catalog is going to be much, much bigger than Bunch. So that's just a little flavor for what the competitive landscape would look like. The high-level go-to-market plan, as I said, we'll be launching B2C first. We completed our alpha internal launch in December. We'll have our MVP of our beta in April. We'll start monetization by Q2. And we'll also be ready for, a B2B telco version starting the same quarter. Monetization model is primarily esports, and, we are also going to start testing out subscriptions. The target audience, it's primarily 18 to about 35 or so casual gamers on 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi. And that set of the casual gaming market, which was to a large extent, ignored, has actually now revived. They were called non-core gamers, but non-core gamers today are, forming at least 45-50% of your gaming audience. So we are basically targeting that audience across India, US, Canada, and a few countries in Europe. I'll just move on now to the next product. As FC mentioned, this is a B2B product. It's not a cloud streaming product, but it's an app. We internally called it Challenges Arena. And, firstly, contest is another subsegment within the casual genre of gaming. It has very different characteristics from others. The customer acquisition cost is usually a little lower, and now people have started experimenting with battles over here. As you can see, it's a contest app on Android and iOS where you can challenge friends on various quizzes and games. And we've already got thousands of quiz questions in different formats: text, pictures, audio, video, and you can play quiz challenges and get ranked, or you can battle with opponents and get ranked. And we've got a personalization engine which will throw a certain category to you based on your taste graph, whatever you indicated while signing up. Just to give you a sense, this is what it looks like. This is a complete product right now. We've been using it for about 2 to 3 months internally. And just to give you an example, on the right side, it's a quiz question about Hollywood movies. And you can go there, you can play that. There's a payment gateway, and then the challenge loads. And you play with someone or without someone. In this case, you get ranked and you appear on a leaderboard. Or if you want to do the same thing and battle against an opponent, let's say you choose a category of questions which is cars and bikes, and then it shows you the list of battles, and then you say you want to play against someone. The opponent search starts, and it looks for someone, and finally find someone who's also looking to play the game. And then you battle with the opponent. In this case, it's a question about a very famous bike brand. And, either you win or you lose, the game gets over. And the two people, their, scores are, and the result is shown, and you appear on the leaderboard. So it's a slightly different product from the previous product that we showed. And the go-to-market plan, as FC mentioned, we are launching with one telco in February this month, and launching with telcos internationally starting next quarter. And not just telcos, but there's also interest from other digital companies, OTT partnerships, OEMs for distribution. And our core focus over the next quarter or two is going to be on internationalization and bringing in local content, and that's part of our robust product growth map over here. So right now I'll just have a very short video on our first product, which is ONMO, our cloud gaming product, post which we'll throw it open for Q&A.
Welcome to ONMO, a new platform where game challenges are streamed instantly to your mobile phone. Connect, play, and compete with friends. But what's different about ONMO? Hundreds of games are just one click away, streamed directly to your smartphone. Gamers can play specific challenges or sections of popular games they love. With ONMO's built-in social features, let's take a look. ONMO brings device-agnostic cloud gaming to the world. Anyone with a smartphone can choose and play game challenges on demand. Games are streamed from the cloud. No download required. Just connect via people together to play, challenge friends or social followers to beat your score. Voice chat helps players connect as friends, giving a truly engaging social experience. The innovative co-play feature lets you share control of a single game. At ONMO, no one picks a fight, they pick a battle. Choose a favorite game challenge and compete. Share your battle score and climb to the top of the leaderboard. Risk and earn ONMO credits while playing the best mobile games. ONMO is transforming the way gamers connect, play, and compete. Challenge yourself and your friends. Follow us and learn more at onmo.com.
Over to the moderator now.
Yeah, Krish, thanks for that. We can now take Q&A, please.
Sure, thank you. Before we begin, requesting the participants to kindly log into Zoom video conferencing while the call is in progress, as per details provided in the call invite to the product presentation. Please do not disconnect the audio call while the presentation is in progress. We will now begin the question and answer session. If you'd like to ask a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. If you're using a speakerphone, please make sure your mute function is turned off to allow your signal to reach our equipment. Again, press star and 1 to ask a question. We'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Prakash Ramaseshan from Pragya Consulting FCE. Please go ahead. Prakash, you may go ahead with the question.
Yeah. We're able to understand the products that you explained to us, but we're not getting a sense of how large the financial opportunity is. So if you could explain that to us, please. Thank you.
Chris, go ahead.
Okay, I'll go ahead. So on the B2C cloud gaming side, it's this market is a huge billion-dollar market across the globe. So most of these cloud gaming companies have just started, and if you look at comparables in the market, many of them in the esports and battles and challenges, a good solid company is probably in the hundreds of millions of dollars. So the overall opportunity today is probably in the $3 to $4 billion range, but that will grow over the next 4 to 5 years. So we see this as a very big opportunity. I'm not going to give any guidance and numbers right now, but it's a huge opportunity for a lot of people to be out there. The mobile gaming itself is 100 billion, and this cloud and esports side will probably, the entire market will probably be a $10 billion market. These are just market estimates. So that's the overall opportunity size.
No, I'm not looking to hold management to any numbers. That's not the intention here. We're just trying to understand as an investor, this opportunity would be as large as the existing business of the company. Would that be fair to say?
Over time, the estimate is obviously they should get much bigger than the current business, but that means many, many years and not necessarily immediately. But obviously, since the market size itself is so large, our expectation is that it could be much bigger than what we are doing today.
That's adequate, sir. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. A reminder to participants that you may press star and 1 to join the question queue. Participants who wish to ask questions, please press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Jeevan, who's an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hey, hi, this is Jeevan. I just have one question. What's the company vision for next 3 to 5 years? Will it be top in content, gaming, or tones, or all of us in focus, or any other area you guys thinking that will be, join and do for next 3 to 5 years or maybe more? This is just a view I just want to know. And that will, I'm not asking for any financial one, that will be your target, but focus area mainly. Thanks.
Let me take that. I think the legacy business will continue to be as is. Our target is to get more profitable. The new businesses, Krish has just mentioned, these are large opportunities. Our focus is moving towards that. We believe that our growth will actually, for revenue growth, will come from these new products that we are going to launch over the next few quarters. And that's where our big focus is going to be over the next 3 to 5 years and beyond.
Thank you. A reminder to participants to please press star and 1 to join the question queue. The next question is from the line of Yash Chaudhary from Param Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, Krish. Congratulations on good set of, operational margins that you have achieved. With regards to the new products that you guys are launching, wanted to know that this ONMO thing, how is it going to be? Like, we can download it directly from your website, or how exactly?
Yes. As we showed in our product, the ONMO product is, a PWA. You don't need to go into any app store. So you can just go onto your mobile phone, open a browser, and go straight to our onmo.com link when it is ready, and you should be instantly able to play. So there is nothing to download from any Play Store. That's why it's so simple. It's meant to be just easy on any phone.
Okay, so since this is browser-based, there would be, I suppose that there is no issue with regards to user traffic, or like how many users can this particular platform handle?
Yes, that is. I mean, that's back-end core technology. That is something which we shouldn't have a problem with.
Okay, so this ONMO is a separate product which you guys have launched, which is, in the process of being launched. And this Challenge Arena is another product for which you guys have partnered with a telecom company, right?
Yes, as FC mentioned, within the gaming space, there are 2 products. The ONMO is our cloud streaming product, which is, as of now, going to be B2C. As we said, we will do a beta of that in April. Mm-hmm. The other one is Challenges Arena, which is a B2B quiz gaming app. And that, as you said rightly, will be launched with telco starting this month.
So this quiz gaming app, which you guys would be partnering with the telecom company. So how exactly would the scheme of arrangement be?
Sure, I'll have Sanjay Bambri, our CEO, answer that.
Good afternoon, sir. So fundamentally, it's going to be on the same similar model and the business model the way we work today on with the telcos, which is basically on a revenue share. We would launch this service under the telco brand with our services under Challenges Arena, and there will be a revenue share. We will do the product, we will do the fulfillment of the quizzes and distribution of the rewards, and we will get X percentage of the revenue of what the consumer pays.
Okay, so similar to what the Tones business and the content business is right now going with, right?
Exactly.
Okay, and there won't be any specific area of operation for both the products, if I'm not wrong.
Sorry, can you? I didn't understand the question.
Will there be any specific area or geography that you guys will be covering?
So I think the intent is at the moment the definition is more from the market where Challenges Arena is more focused on upgrading the quiz from a legacy to digital format, and it continues to be more at the moment targeted at the telcos. Whereas ONMO is going to be more focused on direct to consumer services, because you need the large masses across the globe to do. As far as specific which geographies we're going to launch ONMO, I think over the next calls, I think FC and Krish will come back and give that as we go closer to the launch. As well as on the CA is concerned, our existing spread across all the continents with our customers, existing customers and new customers remains the target. So it's basically global.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Milind Karmakar from Dalal and Brocha. Please go ahead.
Hi. A couple of questions. One was that, of course, it was my expression or my thought process that over a period of time, you probably will develop a platform similar to Unity Technologies, which helps other gaming companies to come and build games, or people who actually build games come into that, so come onto that platform. So just wanted to understand, is that in our plan of things? That was my first question. The second question was that if I look at the normal gaming platforms, the place there are many players in this space. So I wanted to know how we would be different than most of the others, or what would be our USP. So these were my two questions.
Sure, I'll take that. I think first question on Unity. I mean, Unity is slightly different from what we are doing.
Correct.
We're not in that space where that provides core technology for game development. We are not building games over here. So this is a platform that hosts a set of curated game moments. So we are not building the games per se, but we are working with game developers who will, host their games on our platform. Your second question was on differentiation. I think I touched on a little bit in that slide. Maybe I'll just, add a little more color to that. So the first thing was on cloud streaming. Now, of course, there are others also who cloud stream, but as I said, if you go to a Stadia or a Black Nut or an xCloud, the streaming technology there is focused on delivering streaming primarily for, let's say, your Xbox One or your PC or your console games, and then you have to boot that onto your mobile. But in our case, as someone previously asked, what do? We just have to go straight into our mobile browser and load the games up. So it's very different. It's only for mobile. There are no controllers. There are no hardware to be bought and any of those things. So it's a very different experience. If you compare it to other companies like, let's take the Indian ones like MPL or, Paytm First Games, etc. I think the only place where we are similar is in terms of, battles and challenges that they have. But when it comes to other features, they're not, cloud streamed. You need to go to the MPL website to kind of download the app, the APK. And then the number of game challenges that you have there is, limited to maybe 6 or 7 game challenges per game. While over here, we are creating and curating and building out game challenges. So you could end up having you could take a game like, let's say, cut the rope or, roll the ball, and we could, chop that into maybe 300-400 very, very interesting, unique moments. So we are not hosting complete games on the platform like, some of the other competitors, but we are curating very, very interesting pieces of a game which people like playing and they go back to playing those games. So that's just, two key differentiators. And there are a few more which I've already explained in the call. Hope that helps.
Okay. My second question was that, yes, in India, it is true that we don't have a lot of, let's say, competitors. But how, because in your presentation, I saw that you would probably be with a telco outside India as well. And the names which you suggested are all, countries where which have got well-developed gaming companies, and the games are already there on mobile as well. So how confident are you of tying up with a telco outside India? And again, as I said, what would be your USP there, or it would be the same USP?
Okay, this is Sanjay here. So as I think I was speaking earlier, so fundamentally from the telco standpoint, at the moment the key focus is on the challenges arena. And one of the key things we have is that we are already working with a lot of telcos across different parts of the world with the legacy part of the service. One straight line is to upgrade the non-digital service to the digital service, which is the challenges arena. Point number one. Point number two is one of the few of the USPs which we carry is the consumer lifecycle management, which we do. So contrary to anyone else which is sitting outside versus we sitting inside an existing operator or most of the operators which we work with, we anyway do the life cycle management of the consumer for many services. So our edge over being able to give a better service and experience because of understanding that consumer, we get a little bit of edge. Over and above the bells and whistles on the platform, which I'm not getting into, which basically obviously we need to differentiate on the platform which is there. I think these will be few key elements which help us and make us a little more confident that the telcos will resonate more with the challenges arena because of this. Hope I helped that.
Okay. Yep. And one last question from my side. When do you think that the gaming revenues will start reflecting in your overall top line?
If you're talking about the new gaming revenues, as I said,
new gaming.
Yeah. So Challenges Arena, will launch soon. So you should see some revenue growth starting, next quarter. And with ONMO, it's, as I said, the quarter after is when we will do the consumer launch. So it will just be after that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder to participants that you may press star and 1 to join the question queue. The next question is from the line of Dipesh from MK Global. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Just want to understand what role we exactly play. Let's say in online gaming market, if one understand, it is a 150 billion plus kind of market globally. Now, what role we play in overall ecosystem? What kind of value addition we do? If you can help us understand from that context. Earlier, you highlighted differentiation versus, let's say, NPL in India or Unity globally. So what limitation our business model brings in terms of revenue monetization or what overall pie we can address? If you can provide some better perspective, because I'm yet not clear on that part. Second question about, let's say, our focus on game and contest going forward. Now, whether it would be still B2B where we use telco to drive monetization for us, or it would be B2C also. And how margin profile difference would be, let's say, across 4-5 business which we generally highlight, whether there would be any material margin difference at gross level across the businesses. Thank you.
Okay, I think there were quite a few questions in this. Maybe I'll have Sanjay address the question on Challengers Arena, and then I'll talk about a little on the margin of ONMO.
No, I think the first question was basically, are we going to just remain on the telco or go on B2C? So, sir, as some of us, including FC, Sanjay, Babeja, Krish, and me, we were all talking about, at the moment the focus is with the Challenges Arena, which is the trivia and the quiz app. That is at the moment more focused on the telco, which is a regular way of doing business. The ONMO, which is the streaming new gaming platform, which we'll be rolling out soon, that is more at the moment focused on a B2C model. As we evolve, obviously, they will have variants of it, but at the moment, if I can put the answer, that is basically where the focus is. So just to be clear, we will have both the models, B2B for or the telco model for Challenges Arena, and ONMO, the streaming services for the B2C.
I think also, ONMO B2B partnerships with telco will happen after the B2C launch, as we indicated in our product presentation. And on the margins in, this business and the monetization model, on the ONMO side, the monetization model is, predominantly esports, which is battles and challenges. If you kind of played any of these games in the esports space, you'll understand how that money is made when there's a certain take rate that the platform gets based on the money that's used to play a battle. And the margins typically in that business, and I'm just talking at a macro industry level, is at steady state when these companies are scaled up, the margins roughly will be between 22 to 27% or so, the operating margins.
I think the first question remained unanswered. It is more about overall market, what role we play in overall ecosystem as well as value addition side. And you said about differentiation on where we differ, but let's say where we are different, what limitation it brings.
So if I got your question right, you're saying what is the reason or what is the value addition that ONMO would bring to consumers?
So first question is more broader. Let's say if I look online gaming market, it is upwards of $150 billion globally.
Yes.
Now the way you explain business, let's say what pie we will address out of, let's say, 150 billion plus.
Got it.
Second thing is, so maybe if you can answer, then I can have any follow-up.
Sure, absolutely. I think that 150 billion is today split across mobile, PC and console-based games. And mobile is the biggest pie of that 150 billion, which is 100 billion, and that is the space which we'll be in. We are not building games for PCs and consoles. So that's the segment of the market.
No, but then we are not making any game also, right? So that 100 billion is overall ecosystem revenue. Yes. Now it seems to me you are creating only engine kind of thing where the game developer can host their games. If my understanding is correct, then obviously your pie would be much lower than the 100 billion. So I just want to understand what exactly the kind of platform which you create, what would be the market for that?
Oh, it's a fairly, that part of the market is actually maturing. We are not the only one in that space. So it's a well-validated space in terms of business model, in terms of monetization. There are other, as I indicated in the competitive landscape list, there are companies out there which host games. None of those companies are making the games. Most of them are hosting, full-length games on platform. The difference is, as I mentioned, in our case, our value addition is for people who are casual gamers who want bite-sized entertainment and content, and they want to go play a very, very specific part of a game, and they want to have fun playing that specific part of a game with friends. So it's not about playing the entire game, but playing a part of the game, and some of our innovation is in that space.
And so what limitation it brings in terms of revenue monetization? Because if it is only bytes kind of thing rather than full game, obviously your addressable market will shrink to that extent. So if you can provide that perspective and how it can compare with the cost and investment which you are making, whether you make similar kind of return on investment compared to some of the other competitors.
Sure. So see, the way the millennial young crowd plays games today is, it's not that they're playing, sitting and playing a game for 2 hours a day. They cumulatively will play a lot, but they may play 2 or 3 minutes per moment, per session, and then come back and play another battle or a challenge. So this doesn't limit us in any way. It actually, it's bite-sized kind of episodes. There is an audience for, let's say, watching 3-hour movies, and there's an audience for watching shorter versions of, entertainment. And in our case, our innovation is in the shorter space. So it's not that, it's just a very different product proposition. It's a very different consumer experience. And both those models will exist. There'll be a multiplicity of, players with different models and different value proposition. We are very clear about what we want to do. I'm sure that, other companies are very clear about what they are building. And this is the space that we plan to, play in. You've seen the slide presentation where it talked about our moment creation tool, our content management system, where we have this ability to build these very, very interesting curation of content, because a player goes and plays a certain part of a game and they love playing that part of a game. They like coming back to that particular episode. They love challenging their friends. So That's the space we'll be playing in. And even when you go into some of the other competing platforms, some of them host full-length games, some of them also just host a specific level. So to answer your question, there'll be players across that spectrum.
And Krish, if I can just add, for everybody to understand here, when we say we're changing a bit the paradigm, it's a bit like doing the TikTok of games, right? TikTok, you have 15-second videos come along and people can actually create their own videos doing this. We're doing pretty much the same thing but using games. Today, you can't do this. Today, if I want to do a challenge on the game, I have to recode that game or have to integrate with the game developer in the code. What is unique about our platform is that we are not integrating. The game developer has to do nothing. Even them are very surprised, right? Because we can go into anywhere in the game, start the moment at this specific place and stop it anywhere we want and put any conditions on that moment. And on that specific moment, we can run multiple challenges, but, we don't do any code. The AI does the job. That's the beauty of the platform here that we're talking about. So we're able to extract thousands of game moments, which are like small TikTok, on the gaming side. And now people can run any moment and do, social play challenges, So that's the big shifter that we're talking about. And that's why when we say it's cutting edge, it's never been done. When we talk to game developers, obviously we plan to partner with game developers, and in the model we're going to share 50-50 the revenues with game developers. But the key is that they have to do nothing. We can take any game in the world and start doing challenges and cutting moments anywhere. So we take the best game, the best moment, we cut the challenge, and here we go. We're rolling. So this is very, very different. So that's why we're so excited about this platform and the potential. Now that being said, marketing-wise, as you know, we can't just go blast marketing globally everywhere. So the key markets, which for sure we're launching, is India. U.S. is the biggest market for esport right now, and where people make money. It's, if you look at a couple of competitors, they've managed in the course of the last 10 years to grow businesses in the $200-300 million revenue range. Luckily for us, the road's been paved, right? So it's easier to go, and it's not going to take us 10 years to get to that market. But the U.S. is the biggest market, so we have to be there. And as you know, we're very strong in Spain and a couple of countries in Europe, which we will want to be. So initially, our launch will be in India, in the U.S., and some key countries in Europe. And that's where we'll focus our money. Now, I want everybody on the call to realize that this is a direct consumer financial model and plan. It's very different than the ONMOBILE traditional B2B selling. And that's why we have two sets of products here. It's not at all the same parameters when we invest in marketing B2C to acquire subscribers. So we're talking about, tens of millions of dollars to be invested in marketing in each market. And one of the, and I just want to be very clear with all the investors, one of the challenges we have on the board level is, as you know, we have a cash position today of $37 million. We're not saying we're going to take $37 million and drop it in marketing, to launch ONMO. But to be honest with you, that's the kind of money that would be required to make this plan work on the global level, or at least in these key countries. So right now we will launch ONMO. We will start spending in marketing. But for sure, we will need partners on the marketing side also, and we're considering even approaching VCs to fund that plan as a B2C plan, so that we don't mix up the B2C financial model with the B2B business that we have here. Because today those two models are within ONMOBILE, and within our results, as you know, we've been having the development of this platform and all the investment into our results that we've been carrying along. But they're two separate venture endeavors here. So hopefully I clarified the point here.
Thank you. The next question is from Manan Patel, who's an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir, and congratulations for this good product launch and patent. So first of all, I wanted to understand on the patent bit. So what part of this platform has been patented, which might or may not be copied by any other people, any other companies once you launch this?
So the patent is about the engine to cut moments. So the patent is about being able to create moments out of a game and recreate like a game on top of the game, challenges on top of the game. And the patent is also about the AI and how we actually manage to have this engine that goes on top of any game and creates automatically all these moments and challenges.
Understood. Understood. And sir, as you mentioned that you would be spending significant marketing, you would have significant marketing budget for all these launches, and you mentioned to bring in investor. So are you planning to put this game into a separate subsidiary company or something like that? Is that the plan?
So we are working on the structuring part, and we'll come back to this forum as and when we decide. Yes, it could be differently done. It cannot be done in the normal business increase or a improvement basis. It will be differently done. We'll come back to this forum when we're ready with the exact structure.
Understood. And sir, from what I understand, you mentioned it would require, because it's a streaming service, it would require a strong network, 4G or maybe 5G also. So in India, would it be a restrictive thing for you? Because networks might only be strong in probably metros or top tier cities.
I know we've done play tests. Part of what you're saying is right, but at the same time you require about 10 Mbps connection. So people with a 4G connection or Wi-Fi at home have been able to play. It hasn't been much of a problem, and we've tested this across cities. So there is no real definite correlation. The top 50 to 80 cities people have played this, and it works fine. But the one thing which I must say is we'll be very careful in choosing the right games for this platform. Low latency games will work, but some very, very high enriched content and games which require multiple moves in a millisecond. I think we'll be very judicious about that. And I think that's something even the bigger players in the market do, whether it's Facebook or Google, because cloud streaming, as you know, is a very, very new technology. And there are hundreds of games out there which will work on this platform. And the games which are not meant for this in India, we will not have it. At the end, people will need to have a good experience. So our initial tests have shown that, it's reasonably good.
Understood. And sir, regarding the strategic, the bringing in an investor, are you already in talks with investor, and is there significant interest being shown?
I don't think we can answer this question. The people always keep approaching companies. I don't think it's appropriate for us to answer this at the moment.
Okay. And what would be the revenue potential for Challenges Arena?
This is Sanjay this side. So fundamentally, as we go live, since this is a new model, I think we will have this idea by the next investor call, and then basically we'll be able to give a better grip on that. So just give us one quarter, and we should be able to answer that.
Understood. And sir, my last question is on the base business. So do you expect the margins to keep on improving?
So the legacy business, the business that we are on, we expect the margin to get better. We are working towards ensuring that our costs are well optimized, and also that some of our loss-making units are taken care of. So once that happens, we believe there will be improvement in the margin.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of VP Rajesh from Banyan Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Mr. VP Rajesh, I'm sorry, we can't hear you. Your voice is breaking.
Is it better now?
Yes, sir. Please.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now.
Yeah. Thanks for the demo. That was very helpful to understand how you are going after the gaming sector. A few questions. So you said that you're going to create moments. Is it fair to assume that you can do it for any game and these games are not going to be exclusive to you?
I'll answer it and then maybe hand it over to FC also. I mean, we can create it for almost all games, but there is some technical compatibility also. So the games go through a certain technical filter, and once it's technically compatible, then yes, I think we can cut most of these moments out. I didn't get your second question was?
No, that was my first question. My second question is, you said there is a AI part to it. So for that, you will need a lot of robust data to see how you can, play the algorithm. So therefore, where, if my thinking is correct, then where do you get the data set for that?
Yeah, I'll have FC answer that, because most of it actually came in to us through our Rob0 acquisition, where the AI analytics looks at, various drop-offs within the platform. And yes, once consumers are there, your AI algorithms get much better. So the more data you have, it gets much better. So
Sure.
Any machine learning system, takes time, and when there are more people playing on the platform, your algorithms are, going to get even more better optimized. FC, you have anything to add?
Yeah, I just want to clarify the way we use Rob0 is a different way, and we have multiple use to it. For example, the way we actually identify the start of the game, the end of the game, the parameters, who won the game, all this, is different than all the analytics behind, okay, how's the player stats happening? How good is that player? How can you evolve this player? Which is different than, okay, when should we, how the actual gaming experience should be, and where are the flaws in our gaming experience, and which initially was the Rob0 product. The Rob0 product was initially to actually be able to read the every player playing a specific game and be able to tell the game developer, your player is going to drop at this specific moment, and there's the reason why, and here's the specific moment where you should have sell, a package or something, to be able to upgrade that player. So that's actually a different usage that we're doing. We're using that component, but we're also using the component of player analysis and also using that component to be able to actually build the actual game moments here. So I don't know if I answered the question, but the same engine is used on multiple levels, and they don't all require big data to be able to be efficient.
Okay, so if I understood your answer correctly, you're saying that you will leverage the Rob0 technology till you get your own user sets on which you can basically make the robust algorithm. Is that sort of is that understanding correct?
Yeah, so we're going on both ends, right? So we analyze the actual player status and the way the player plays, but we also analyze the actual game, how it's done, and how we actually create and carve out moments and challenges from that game. So there are two different usage of the same platform.
Right. And my second question is, among the competitor set that you showed on one of the slides, which is the biggest in terms of the users on the platform?
The competitors, not all of them have publicly available data, but I think at least in the US and Europe, Skills is reasonably large. And it's a fairly scared product, but it's, again, different from us. You need to download the APK, and they don't necessarily have our moments. I think the bigger guys like xCloud and Google Stadia, they had a beta launch. They are also going, through their launches country by country and testing things out. So it's too early to kind of comment on some of those players. And the Indian players, you know what's happening in the Indian ecosystem with MPL and Paytm First, etc.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ilish Gopani from Gopani Securities and Investments. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. All my questions are answered, so I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Milind Karmakar from Dalal & Broacha. Please go ahead.
I had one question, which was in terms of how do you compensate the game developer? Is it a sort of a revenue sharing model, or you buy this content or license to split or to create these moments?
It's really a revenue share. It's a revenue share net of the actual costs of operations, right? So the cost of hosting and the cost of billing the customer. So that's what we share with the game developer.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We have one last question in queue. We take the last question from the line of Dipesh from MK Global. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Just two questions about follow-up to the earlier question. What would be the customer acquisition cost you envisage for us? And considering the churn and all those factors. And second thing is whether we benefit from user time spent on platform. So from monetization perspective, whether we also gain from the number of minutes or number of hours spent on the platform. Thank you.
Sure. I think it's too early for us to comment on, how much money we're going to spend on acquiring customers. But to answer your second question, there are drivers of that revenue, and some of the drivers are, how much. It's not just how much time you spend, but how many battles you play. So how many challenges do you do with your friends? So the more moments and challenges that you play, our take rate is going to be on that. So it's not just time spent, but it's a number of challenges played too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. That was the last question in queue. I would now like to hand the conference back to the management team for closing comments.
Well, thank you, everyone. I just want to say it's going to be a big quarter ahead. We are launching all these products. We look forward to next call in May. It's a year, but at the same time, we'll have the platform live, and we'll have way more metrics to share with you on what's happening with ONMOBILE and how much traction we're getting with Challenger Arena, also with the operators. So I thank you very much. Happy you spent all this time with us today, and look forward to discussing with you next quarter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On behalf of ONMOBILE Global Limited, that concludes the conference. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. You may now disconnect.